Hey guys, welcome back. New episode. This time we're talking about research. Specifically, how much is enough? This is actually a really complicated question. It's going to vary a lot depending on what sort of work you're doing and who you're doing it for. Because your audience is going to be the deciding factor. You've got to convince your audience that you know what you're talking about. And that's going to vary because if you're trying to convince a bunch of teenagers that you know about the military, it takes a lot less research than if you're trying to convince military veterans. So if your audience is military veterans, you better be ready to do the work. And that's going to hold true across whatever genre you're writing. If you can reasonably expect that your audience knows about the material you're putting out, then you're going to have to do a lot more research than in the opposite case. Now, there are exceptions in this, or not so much exceptions, but there are situations in which it really doesn't matter as much. For example, some people, the research is driving the book. An example of that would be The Martian, where the level of research that was done to push that novel forward is just absolutely insane, to the point where actual people working at NASA and so forth say that it's basically not even science fiction, it's so accurate. The author enjoyed the research, enjoyed that deep dive, and if you're in that situation where your subject matter is something you really enjoy digging into, then go for it. You're not going to have to worry about diminishing returns if you're doing something you love anyway. But do consider the issue of diminishing returns if the story is the motivation and the research is facilitating that. Because after a certain point, you're really just dragging yourself down. However, you do have to get comfortably past that point before I would be willing to say that, yeah, you've done enough. You know, in general, if you've got 97% of your audience who are covered by the research that you've done, and that the remaining 3% you're asking them to give you a little bit extra suspension of disbelief, that's probably going to be okay. Now, of course, in this, as with most of my advice, your mileage may vary, and really you do have to adapt it for your own purposes, for your own situation. So, good luck. Anyway, it's been great. I'm going to get back to you. This one should be going on Friday, so I'll get back to you on Monday with a new episode, and I'll see you then. Bye.